You're the only girl that I have ever wanted.
What is up, my fellow hip hop heads and music lovers in general? My name is G-Vans and welcome back to my channel, where every Friday I take a look at all the new albums being dropped by some of my favorite artists in hopes that you guys will like what I have to say about them, in hopes that I can get some of you into some new music. First of all, I just want to apologize because I know it seems like I haven't uploaded in a fucking hot ass minute. To make a long story short, my schedule for this week for work. I'm working 5 days. I'm working my fifth day tomorrow on Sunday, and my only 2 days off were today, Saturday, and Tuesday. So I didn't really have enough time to upload a vlog for this week, or even like do the reviews that I wanted to do from last week. You know, the Common album, the Sir album, the Joel Ortiz album, and the Conniva album. So I unfortunately didn't get to review that on YouTube. They're up on my Instagram like always. I just didn't really have the time to do that on the channel. Yeah, that's the thing about my old job. Since I only worked 3 days at my old job, I had like a lot of creative freedom, or just like freedom in general, to focus on the channel. But at the same time, I wasn't really making like that much money, and I was kind of like in a tough spot because I was working a shitty ass job, and I was like, kind of getting sick of it. And, now with this new schedule, it's with this new job, I'm just like all over the place sometimes, trying to like balance like my school shit out and work, and trying to like focus on this channel too. So yeah, like I apologize for like being sort of like, I guess, half-assing the whole YouTube thing. I'm just like, I've been kind of like trying to like get used to this new job, which is the reasons why I've been uploading these reviews on Saturdays, because I just don't have the time on Fridays anymore. But I'm trying to get better, and I hope you guys can stick with me. But nevertheless, I still wanted to get some reviews out. So for today, I'm gonna be talking about 4 albums that I got to review today. So yeah, 4 uploads today. So get ready for it, and let's just get right into it. So the first album I'm gonna be talking about is Post Malone's new album called Hollywood's Bleeding. It's his 3rd studio album. It's his 3rd like full-length project, and it's a lot more different than expected. First of all, just when you think Post Malone is not gonna be able to top his other albums, I for one thought that there was no way he's gonna be able to top Stoney, and then Beer Bongs and Bentleys came out, and I was like, okay, this is a pretty good album, but there's no way Beer Bongs and Bentleys can be top off whatsoever. Boy, was I fucking wrong, because Hollywood's Bleeding is a fucking masterpiece, Post. First of all, if you're going into this album expecting it to be like a full-on like hip-hop album, then don't expect that, because it is a lot more different. It's a lot more popish, a lot more like rock and roll sort of vibe than usual. Not saying that there aren't any like hip-hop elements to this album at all. Like, of course there are, you know what I mean? Post obviously goes full on, flex mode, because he has a lot to flex about. He is pretty fucking like successful, and he also has a lot of like rap related features that would show that he's not like that he's definitely like not unfamiliar with the whole like rap scene. You know what I mean? It's like, I know he has a song with Meek Mill on the album. There's the Baby of I think Young Thug's in the album too, and Future. There's a few more like hip hop like artists on this album. But besides all that, like I said before, this album is a lot more like, I guess, a lot more gentle, a lot more like chill, a lot more like slower, and just a lot more sentimental in general than your like usual Post Malone album. First of all, let me just say that I really I want to take a time right here to really appreciate like how humble and how like great of an artist, and how good of a person in general Post Malone is like, I've read like interviews about this album, and Post himself said that he's not really like looking to make anything like too mainstream, or too like too like over popular, I guess. He's just trying to like make music, you know what I mean, which I guess could be kind of like not like believable, because considering that he is like one of the hottest, one of like the most popular like artist on the planet right now. It's like, you know, he is definitely like considered like a great rapper right now, or like a great artist. So you know, whatever it is he's been doing in the past is it's fucking working, because you know this man has now 3 full-length projects that are absolutely fucking amazing. Let me just say another reason why I appreciate Post Malone is because he said on interviews that, you know, they know what matters to him the most is the fact that, you know, people can listen to his music and say, and you know, say that it helped him out a lot. You know, you know, just make like relatable music to a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, Post has said that, you know, he would much rather have someone go up to him, you know, not wanting a picture, but just go up to him and say, hey, just wanted to say your music like really saved my life when I was going through a hard time, and you know, it's right, something that I really appreciate you doing. You know, like thank you for giving me hope, which is, you know, something every artist, you know, wants to do. Yeah, we want to make history, and you know, we want to go down as you know, maybe one of the greats. But at the same time, though, you know, we make music because, you know, we're going through something, and we know other people are going through something, and you know, we want to, like, you know, let them know, hey, I'm going through the same shit. You know, I'm not a perfect person, but this is what I did to learn from my experiences, and this is how I hope you will learn from. This is how I hope you will learn from your past experiences, pretty much. So what Post Malone pretty much like shows and admits on this album is under that like goofy ass smile, that goofy ass personality, and the fucking like unique ass like style of clothes that he wears. You know, deep inside is somebody who is hurt and who is very wounded from past experiences. Because boy, does he talk about a lot of like past shit. You know, I would say that the album is pretty much, you know, like, I think the reason why it's called Hollywood's Bleeding is because, you know, it's pretty much Post Malone, you know, showing people like, hey, like, you know, Hollywood's been like the same thing for a long ass time, and you know, he is a perfect example of somebody very different in the rap industry. You know, he is considered a rapper, but you know, I think he could also be considered a rock star, because he has that fucking like rock star sort of voice in this, and this album like really fucking comes out. But for the most part, I feel like the album is mostly about, you know, like hardships that you went through back then, because he talks about a lot of like sad shit. You know, there's this song called like, I think it's called "Lie to Me" or something like that. Like, I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, it's called "Die for Me." Yeah, it's called "Die for Me." It's with Future and Halsey, and you know, they pretty much, you know, talk about like you know, the lies that an ex lover, you know, once told you. You know, like I think one of like the lyrics in the song is like, you know, you said you'd die for me, but you lied to me, or some shit like that. You know, which is like really like deep. You know, I think both Post and Halsey did really fucking good on this album, or on that song. I don't personally like Future that much. I personally would have loved it if it was just him and Halsey on that song, but you know, it's whatever. Like, I will, you know, um, I will try to endure Future's terrible fucking voice because it's a Post Malone album. And not only, you know, is he talking about, you know, past like filled relationships, but he also like talks about like the phases of a doomed relationship, like a relationship that's pretty much doomed from the start. And you know, just pretty much, you know, all the like lessons you learn from past experiences. You know, like all lessons you learn from mistakes. You know, all the people that that you meet. You know, people that you think are gonna be there forever, and then like, you know, once you realize they're not gonna be there forever, that's when you're like, you know, that's when you start to say to yourself, well, like, this person wasn't really a friend, but now that I know that, I can move on and, you know, make better choices with who I make friends with. So yeah, that's pretty much a whole like quick summary of what the album is. You know, production value is really fucking great. I really love that he works with a lot more like acoustic sounds. Like it's not that much of like beats for the most part. It's just like acoustic, like instruments and whatnot. And honestly, I think this might be Post Malone's best project yet. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Beer Bongs and Bentleys was like my favorite Post Malone album. I think Hollywood's Bleeding fucking like just topped that one. Like, I fucking love this album very much. I can't really say what my favorite song of the album was. You know, the whole thing was so fucking like enjoyable, and I think every fucking song is so great. But if I have to choose one song, it'd probably have to be the song called "Take What You Want" with motherfucking Ozzy Osbourne. Yes, Ozzy Osbourne of Black Sabbath and fucking Travis Scott. I'll be honest. Um, Post Malone, like he went on Instagram and he, like, you know, showed like who was gonna be in the album, and when I saw that Ozzy Osbourne was gonna be on the fucking album, like as a feature, I was like, what the fuck, you got Ozzy as a fucking feature? Like, I'm fucking hyped for this album now. Like, I usually don't get too hyped for albums, but you know, when I saw Ozzy Osbourne on the guest list, I was like, fuck yeah, we are listening to this shit. And you know, all I could think about was that fucking song with Ozzy is gonna be very, 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 very fucking great. And it was super great. You know, Ozzy sounds fucking amazing. You know, Travis Scott works very well with Ozzy for some reason. I was not expecting Travis Scott to work that well with Ozzy's music, but he fucking did. And you know, Post Malone's voice in this song and just the whole album in general was so fucking great. Like, you can definitely hear some improvement. It's like, you know, I don't really have much else to say. You know, this fucking album was very, very fucking good. And if you are a Post Malone fan, then listen to it. You will not be fucking, like, you will not be disappointed whatsoever. You know, it's a really great album. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I had to say. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram down below. As always, DM me for requests. Go ahead and follow Post Malone on Instagram down below. His new album Hollywood's Bleeding is out now. Go listen to it if you haven't already. It's fucking amazing. And with that being said, that's pretty much it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell down below so you don't miss any upload. And don't forget to stay happy.
I feel you crumble in my arms down to your heart.